Hey everyone, Shabby here, and welcome back to another episode of our Shabby News. Now, this is not really news, this is more of a rumour that I've seen quite strongly over the last couple of days. I just want to discuss with you guys because, I don't know, it's sort of, well, the first time I heard it, I sort of laughed at it and thought, this is a load of crap, but the more I think about it, the more I think it could be a possibility. Now, the rumour going around is that when Fox takes Smackdown on, it's been rumoured for quite some time that Fox wanted to move Smackdown to a 3-hour long show. And it's been rumoured for quite some time. There's rumoured to be some big names moving across, like Brock Lesnar and them sort of people as well, so that'd be pretty interesting. However, the rumour I've seen today is that potentially WWE are considering removing 205 Live as a brand and integrating 205 Live into SmackDown Live, which is a possibility. Then it got me thinking about what they did before in the original draft split. The original draft split, there was the Cruiserweights on SmackDown and the women on Raw. And I thought, well, they're not going to do that now because they've got such a strong women's roster that I don't think they would do that. But then I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute. Charlotte took the Women's Championship of Asuka on SmackDown a couple of weeks back. And now it's a possibility that we're going to see in the next couple of days on Raw and SmackDown that maybe Charlotte will be putting that championship on the line as well. Therefore, the winner of the WrestleMania main event will hold both championships. Now, will that be a unification? Will we end up with one women's championship? And if we do, will we end up with all the women on Raw? All the cruiserweights on SmackDown? I don't know. It's a really difficult situation. I don't quite understand the way it's going at the moment. I mean, it seems logical. That's what they did originally. And it would... I think there's a lot of women that they don't really trust. It sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it, really? But I think there are. I think... We've seen obviously they don't trust the women enough, apart from Becky, Charlotte and Ronda. They don't feel that there's enough ability to have a second SmackDown Women's Championship match, do they? Which is why they've given Charlotte the belt. So obviously they didn't think there was enough. They didn't think Asuka had enough people to really give her a good match. And who knows, maybe they're right. Maybe the likes of Mandy Rose and them sort of people aren't good enough to put on a great match of Asuka at WrestleMania. So maybe combining the two women's rosters together onto Raw, having the women's championship and the women's tag team championships there, would be a possibility. I don't know. It's a really weird one. I don't quite understand. But it does say, the more I think about it, the more it does seem logical. And I'm not sure if I would want it to happen because I do like the roster split. But I'm not quite sure. It's a tricky one. Say, I do like the idea of having all the cruiserweights on one brand together on SmackDown, and it would mean that it would make it a lot easier for the cruiserweights to sort of fight up a level as well. I mean, it wouldn't be such a big thing. They wouldn't have to leave 205 Live to wrestle on SmackDown like Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, if the cruiserweight division does move to SmackDown, Mustafa Ali could quite easily step back into the cruiserweight division if he needed to. If his career went a little bit stale, all of a sudden he could have a fight for the cruiserweight championship again. And people like Ricochet. Ricochet can move up to the main roster onto SmackDown. He could fight for the Cruiserweight Championship. He could fight for the the United States Championship, should I say. And maybe even go for the main event championship. It does allow a lot more freedom for the 205 Live guys. And I feel like not having them sort of branded to this individual show might get rid of some of the stigma from them. It might actually be a good idea. It might make them a lot better. So the thing is, I'm not arguing that moving the Cruiserweights to SmackDown is a bad idea. I think it would be a good idea. I think at the moment just having them encapsulated into one show rather than having all these different little shows dotted around is probably best. But it's the women that I'm a bit worried about. I mean, moving them all onto one roster. I mean, if you're only going to have one or two women's matches per Raw, it's going to get very, very congested very quickly, especially with the talented women they currently have in NXT looking to move up as well. It's a possibility, though, because I feel like both Sasha and Charlotte will move to Raw after WrestleMania, because I'm still convinced at the end of WrestleMania we're going to see the 4 Horsewomen versus the 4 Horsewomen, which means they need to have Becky, Sasha, Bayley and Charlotte all on the same brand, and then they need to move up the other 3 Horsewomen from NXT as well. So potentially we could have all the women on Raw, and it's not a terrible thing as long as they give them enough time. That's what I think needs to happen. If they do move them on, they need to give them enough time and they need to give them enough chance to show what they can do. It's great you're going to reduce the amount of women that can be champion because there's going to be obviously one championship rather than 2, but I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's only rumour at the moment, like I say, but the more I think about it, the more I think it is logical and the sort of thing WWE might look to do. They obviously don't think they've got enough main event women to really do what they need to do. I mean, if you think about it though, really, you've got your main four, I suppose. You've got your Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, and Asuka. Those are the main four. Sasha and Bayley are in a level like just in between them and the rest, I think. I think the rest are all a bit more of a basic level. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of people like... I've never been a massive fan of Naomi, to be honest. I don't think her abilities is good. I do like Natalya, but I don't think she's quite on par with the top ladies. Tamina and Nia are just there because they're strong and Samoan. The Iconics have still got a way to go, I think, but do have some good characters. So yeah, I think probably there's not enough strong women to really support 2 championships, but the only way you get the stronger women is by giving them those opportunities to develop in the spotlight, and I don't think with having them all on one show they're really going to be able to develop as well. But I don't know, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think 205 Live, I mean, it has been a common consensus for quite some time now that Fox wants 3 hours from Smackdown. So do you think giving them that extra hour from 205 Live is beneficial for them? Is it beneficial for 205 Live? And do you think all the women moving to Raw is beneficial for the women or beneficial for Raw? Let me know what you think. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, I think it'll be good for SmackDown. It'll be good for 205 Live. It'll be very, very good for 205 Live because they'll get rid of this stigma of being something different and being like this sort of midway point between NXT and the main roster. So that'll be good. However, I'm just not quite sure it's going to be humongously beneficial for the women. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Would you think this is a good idea? Would you prefer that? Is it one less... I know it's the same time frame, but it's one less thing to watch a week, if that makes sense, even though it's the same time. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'm babbling on a bit now, aren't I? Because I've just got a bit confused in my own head. I mean, I think it's a good idea. Whether it happens or not, I'm sort of... I wouldn't say I'm certain, but I'm very confident that it is an option that WWE might be looking at. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to finish this video now because I'm blabbing. However, I'm going to give it another 10 or so seconds because it looks like Ricochet's about to win. We might as well get the whole match out of this. No, we're not. Okay, then. Either way, if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit a like, hit the comment, hit the subscribe button, of course, comment down below on what your opinions are on the topic. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.